What's going on, world? Kate Cat, King Talk Turner in the building. King Talk Turner is also available on all streaming platforms. Check out, you know what I'm saying, my whole catalog, man. You know, Kate Cat Dadon, Dadon. Cause I'm dope. Yeah, man, back again. Just my thoughts. We'll talk about current events. Uh, let's all start off with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. For me, you know, we already know it wasn't going to be the same energy. We know why that is. If you don't, I suggest you look up the Dred Scott rule. Even though this is not 1857, they still act like it is. What I mean by they is the system. So we already know that, man. You know, they're already gonna, they attack brother Kyrie. I already did a video on that, and especially a lot of black sportscasters was really going hard. You know, I see them trying to do a little bit now with Aaron Rodgers, but we already know that was only because they really got called out for it. This is just some crazy times. I'm not mad at Aaron Rodgers for doing what he did. I think your medical health is your business, man. All of this, you know, at the end of the day, talking about, oh, you jeopardizing me. It seemed like a whole conquer and divide thing for me, man. Like, I mean, the thing is, you're telling somebody to be protected, and if somebody else ain't protected, I'm not protected. If I'm protected, but you're not protected, then I'm not protected. And none of that doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It sounds crazy, but whatever, man. I feel like it's crazy that you know, because at the end of the day, it's HIPAA laws, and you shouldn't have to express or even tell a person, your what you've done. Even them asking you that's against the law. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it is crazy. So, at the end of the day, you're like, man, that's for me to know. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't even have to answer that question. Nobody should have to. Your job should not be in jeopardy. And God, I hope that freeze stay. I believe it will, but it's but man, you dealing with it's a lot of evilness going on, man. So that's how I feel about that Aaron Rodgers. I'm not mad at Aaron Rodgers. I don't, I heard Stephen A. and people say it was embarrassing, but at the end of the day, man, ain't nobody's business. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody's business. You have to do preventive maintenance um, in this day and age so you don't become sick. You need to exercise, take your vitamins, your minerals. I always tell people, man, get you some oregano oil, dandelion root, burdock root, vitamin C, vitamin D. Different things to kind of help boost your immune. Mullein, um, black seed oil. There's so much you can do. You gotta prevent. I'm plant based. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a plant based person, so I don't really mess with medicine. So that's how I feel about the Aaron Rodgers situation. Um, it's like I said, I'm going back to that Dred Scott rule. For me as a brother, man, I feel like we know we know it's a difference. There's different rules. We already know like the attack is going to be different on us. The way they went at Kyrie, it doesn't make sense. Kyrie can't play in Brook. Hopefully that changes. I believe it will. But Kyrie can't play, but somebody else. Kyrie can't play in his home court because he didn't, because of his medical choice. But somebody else can come in and play that had the same decision as Kyrie. They can play, but as long as they don't play for that team, that's some. I'm white and I say so. All that's going on. That's it. That's what it is, man. It is what it is. A lot of people can sit there and debate that, or like I said before, people say, "Man, it's no different than this." Man, at the end of the day, you're wrong, and I'm not even gonna go back into all of that because that's just it is what it is at this time. All right. The whole thing with Kanye West, I thought that was a great interview, man. You gotta let him talk, man. You let him. He dropped a lot of he dropped a lot of jewels on that, man. You know what I'm saying? And Kanye is definitely a genius when it comes to the music. It's crazy how like what a year or so ago, or was it 2 years ago, when he made that statement, man, people was like done with him. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I think about Kanye, man. I remember it was a video, like a hip hop documentary I watched years ago, and he was saying like, yo, he said he was gonna be doing some different stuff. 10 years, he's like, I'm not gonna be playing on the keyboard talking about you like this beat. He said he gonna be on some next age stuff. So I kind of knew, Kanye already, was already eccentric. He's his own man, and you gotta respect it. He had a difference of opinion. I didn't agree with the, slavery is a choice. But I made a post when they, after the killing, the massacre down there in my city, and Dave Chappelle, shout out to Dave Chappelle, it brought out a lot of artists, to perform. That happened, the killings that happened down at the Oregon district. Rest in peace to everybody that lost their life in that, man. Especially, my homeboy TJ. Rest in peace. Um, but yeah, Kanye came out. I was like, yo, when he did that, he came out to my city, man, to perform for free, man, and uplifted the city. I was at that point, I was like, yo, man, all is forgiven. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, that was his opinion. I don't knock nobody for their opinion and how they feel, even though I think some stuff is that's a little incomplete. But it was fire because it was a lot of drama talking about the interview. It was a lot of he threw some shots, but he said a lot of jewels as well. So you know he said a lot of stuff that people you got to watch that. You might even have to watch it twice because he said a lot of stuff. But I think at the end of the day, man, Kanye is very interesting, man, and deep brother, man. He's an artist. You know what I'm saying? And I know as an artist, even though I didn't make it, I mean, you know what I'm saying, I didn't blow up like that. But as an artist, man, we're kind of different people because we always, we see things a little different. We hear things a little different, especially when you really into it. Like if you get into it, the art of making music or whatever it is, and you do it for the fame or the money, then you kind of like going off of what's popping. But when you're a true artist, in my opinion, just my thoughts, I think you're kind of like always trying to find a different level. You're always paying attention to things that everybody else ain't paying attention to, or not, maybe not everybody else, but the norm. So you're gonna kind of be a little different and you sensitive about it. You know what I'm saying? So I understood. I understood. So that's my thoughts on the Kanye. And uh the one thing I really, really want to talk about was the Freddie Gibbs Ghetto Boys. Shout out to Freddie Gibbs. I love his music, man, especially that Education, man. That song with him, Yasin Bey and Black Thought. But how I was saying that the Kanye, um, what he was saying about slavery as a choice was incomplete. This is how I felt about what Freddie Gibbs was saying when he was speaking with to Willie D. Shout out to the Ghetto Boys, classic, legendary group, Scarface. Um, you know, when he said he would rather live with white people to be, so he don't be around. He said the N word. Trying to keep my stuff PG, you know what I'm saying, so kids can watch it. But anyways, for me, both the argument is understandable. Both, you know what I'm saying. I understand what he was talking about because he was saying because he's a rapper, so a lot of people may, you know what I'm saying. The attack is different, and he was saying, I'm not thinking about, when I'm at lunch, I'm not thinking about, oppression and all of that stuff. I'm thinking about, who might be trying to, get at me. I get it, but where the conversation for me, and I think this is very important to engage in, is like one with that the inward mindset. Do we contribute to it with the message that we bring forth with our music, with our art? Do we make music for the same people that we don't want to be around? You understand what I'm saying? Or are you uplifting the people to change that? Because we're not the N words. We're, you know, niggas, we're kings and queens, we're sun people. You know, and carbon. You know, listen, man, that we feed from the sun. You know what I'm trying to say? So, are you contributing to that same mindset? Then another thing is, what is the root cause for that way of thinking? For me, the root of it is slavery, the effects of slavery, right? So, yeah, you might have to worry about watching your back because the conditions. Who created those conditions? Who If you look at everything historically, see that's why it's important for you to understand and be informed, have that true education. Even though I like this song, education, that's the part where you have to understand the education of what's going on. That was the difference with like a person like Pac when I was coming up. Pac wouldn't have said no stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Pac wouldn't have said no stuff like that. And for me, and there's no disrespect, I'm not dissing Freddie or anybody that think like him. I'm just saying that's the difference of a mentality. Because Freddie he wasn't wrong in what he said, but I don't want to say he's not informed, but I would say he just left it incomplete. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a reason why our people act like this. The environments, the N word was created. That's not us. But you in an environment, if you're born in a situation and you live in an environment where you have to survive, and these things are coming at you left and right, bills need to be paid, and there's so much stress, you got to do what you got to do, right? I mean, that's anybody. That's just human nature, and they know that. The system knows that. So that's why you had those redliners. That's why you had those things. That's why when they bombed and tore up those prosperous black cities like Black Wall Street, Rosewood, you know what I'm saying? They did that stuff on purpose. The reason why they broke up the black families and just different things of that nature. The reason why they brought drugs in our community. All of those things was to create that N-word mindset that Freddie's talking about. But you can't leave it complete, because what happens is you're saying what made that situation work for the system is that it birthed a generation of people that think the way what he was saying. Like, oh man, it's black people that's doing this. What about black on black crime? But the problem is, when you say, nobody ever says white on white crime, nobody ever say Hispanic on Hispanic crime or whatever like that, Asian on Asian crime. But when you say black on black, you let the system off the hook, right? And then on top of that, when you just put all the onus on us, right? Without telling the whole story of why, getting to the root of the problem, it grows more generations of self-hate, just like that doll test. The doll test, where you see the little kids, black babies, when they see little black dolls and they ask them, what's the evil doll? They had a white doll and they had a black doll, and they say, what's the evil doll? And the black babies will say, the black one, right? Why is that? Same thing. So you have to get to the root of the problem. That's the problem I had with that whole conversation, what he was saying, because there's a lot of people that think that. But when you leave it incomplete like that, and you don't talk about the root cause of something, you create more self-hate. Because there's a lot of self-hate in our community, man. We don't know it because it's everything. It's in everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in the TV we watch. I mean, everything is an agenda based. Everything is, when you watch a black shows, unless it has some sort of agenda, unless it has a white co-star or something like that, all black shows have to have certain agendas. It has to have an agenda to it. It can't just be a solid black love story, healthy marriage. The man has to cheat. He has to be a cheater. He has to be, something has to be going on. Something. And it's always like that. But when you look at, like my wife, she loves like Hallmarks, which I do not understand. But she loves like Hallmark shows and stuff like that. When you see that, man, it's all healthy and everybody just smiling. It's all images, man. But that creates self-love. That's why they don't want critical race theory in schools. Because like I said in my video before, with brother Muhammad, Nuri Muhammad, what he was saying about how school is 85% encouragement and 15% information. Because everything is supposed to tear us down. And that's the conversation that I'm thinking. I think Freddie Gibbs needs to have. He needs to sit down with someone and talk to him. You know, Freddie Gibbs is a dope rapper. I don't know the man. I like his music. You know, big fan. I got all his music. Not all of it, but I definitely got the ones he did with Mad Lib. And I think the last one, I forgot what it was called. Had a little pasta with the, you know. But yeah, so I mean, but he dope. You know what I mean? He dope. But for me, it's just like I think that's the mindset that we're seeing a lot of in our community, especially with black men, man. Like if we have that type of mentality, I don't know how we can win. Yeah, you can sit there and be like, man, it's us that's killing us. It's us that's killing us. Yeah, I get it. You know, and Pac said that too. Pac said that part, but he would never say nothing like, "I'm gonna live with only this side, this group, because I'm worried about you know what I'm saying." Yeah, but we got to get to the root. We got to get to the root, and we got to help that. How can we get to the root of the problem? You can talk about it. You can make music about it. You ain't got to be so preachy, but you got to drop some jewels. Let people know what it is, so we can wake our people up, man. Because we in a sunken place. We're in a sunken place because, listen, man. Like I said again, it's everything. It's in the music. It's in the TV. It's on TV. You know, the kids loving all of these shows. You see the brothers. You know, only show where you gonna see a whole black cast is he got to be selling dope. You got to be a hustler. You got to be a crook. It's the truth. You got a whole thing where now is all the dope shows are youth driven, and I made a video about that youth stuff. It's all propaganda, systematic. Like it's all an agenda, man. Prison is a big business, B. So I'm just saying when it comes to that conversation, like I said, I understood what he was saying because I've heard people say that, but again, it's incomplete. And and I know he didn't mean it in like in a sellout way, but I'm just saying like for that mindset, period, for that way of thinking, like it has to be a conversation. Somebody has like Willie D did a great job with talking to him, but like sometimes when we have that frustration with each other, because for me, sometimes man, even me, I'm a licensed guy. I protect myself. And I've trained in different arts or whatever. I'm not like saying I'm a champion or anything, but then I'm not. But I'm just saying I'm aware of a lot of different things. But when I go and purchase a weapon or anything like that, I don't do it thinking, I'm gonna use this mostly on my people or something like that. No, like, cause I understand like this, it's the environment. You know what I'm saying? You oppress people, subjugated, man. Yeah, you gonna get some knuckleheads. Happens like that. I mean, people crying about critical race theories for their kids. Like, imagine our kids we've been dealing with this for forever. Where it's like, oh, you're horrible. You've been a slave. You was a slave. I mean, we walk around with the slave master's last name. We don't even know our last names. We don't know where we gotta try to find out where we come from. To track our generation, like when we were kings and queens. So, I mean, it's so much to like get into with that. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, man, those conversations really need to be had. And hopefully, if we can have those conversations, we can do what we can to uplift the next generation so we can have self-love. Because in order for black on black crime, as people like to say, the black on black crime, in order for that to stop, we all gotta become woke. The same stuff we criticize and you just throw to the side, like he was saying, I ain't no Dr. Umar, I'm not with the bro, whatever. But you gotta become that. It ain't nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. Like everybody wanna always put the disclaimer that, just because I love my people doesn't mean I hate everybody else. You ain't gotta listen, man. Nobody else do that. I ain't gotta sit there and be like, oh, because I love my kid don't mean I don't care about your kid. You ain't gotta just be proud of who you are. Be proud of who you are. That's only because I'm telling you, man, we as a people, we really have to get to the point of, having our own. And there's so many of us want to sit at the table because we believe, white is right. And listen, man, whatever. But you gotta have self-love. You gotta have self-love. And I think with that conversation, that's a whole thing that, if I was to talk to Freddie Gibbs or something like that, I know this. I'm not saying I'm not on nobody's level of famous. I'm probably gonna get a few views or whatever, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I just make the videos. But I'm not at that level. Nobody's paying attention like that. But if they were, I would say, man, this is a conversation that really needs to be had. So that's my thought. Just my thoughts on, Aaron Rodgers, Kanye West, and the Freddie Gibbs. Like I said, I hope that free sticks, for everybody. So, people can continue to work. Um, it's good to know your rights. A lot of times in this world, people play on your intelligence. They insult your intelligence. And because, it's it's billions and billions of dollars spent yearly to, to neutralize people. And, for me, I don't even really watch TV like that no more, man, because it's like, and it's horrible. You know what I mean? Once I became plant-based, because, the belly is the second brain. So, you eat wrong, man, you think wrong. You know what I'm saying? And when you eat right, you think right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, and once I'm starting to eat right, I'm thinking like, yo, what are they talking about? This don't add up. So, but again, man, I don't want to, just ramble on and on. But yo, man, that was just my thoughts. Again, on all streaming platforms, man, King Talk Turner. Check it out. I think it's dope. I got a lot of projects on a lot of streaming platforms, on all the streaming platforms, really. But check it out, man. Listen to me, man. I'm pretty good, man. I do my thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a retired rapper. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna let none of my music die. So check it out, man. Let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Peace. Have a good day. I'm out.